I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Hurt their feelings? You just walk around all day thinking about other people's feelings?
Yeah, don't you?
No. How do you get anything done?
No. Unlike his character Schmidt from the hit series New Girl, Max Greenfield wants all of us to think about feelings. It's the topic of his new children's book. I love this title, Good Night Thoughts. Makes me think of Good Night Moon. Good Night Thoughts, inspired by his friendship with the late actor Leslie Jordan. Max Greenfield, we're happy to say, is here. If we're lucky, he'll read part of the book for us a little bit later on. Good morning to you, Max.
Good morning to you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Let's start with you and Leslie. How did this come about in terms of Leslie, you and a book?
Yeah, we had finished 3 books at that point, and we're thinking about what we were going to do for the next book. And Leslie Jordan had just passed away. He was a dear friend of mine. And I think I wrote this maybe a week later. Wow. And it was directly inspired from conversations that we had had and his life. And I know this has made me think so much about what he would think or what he would say if he were here right now. He'd be so upset that I was talking about this and it wasn't him.
Conversations.
You're blowing it.
He'd be like this, well, stop talking, I can do this. You're not good at talking, let me do a cooking segment.
You sound like him. Your
He was the
conversations
best.
you all had about feelings or about emotions or about fear?
Yeah, you know, I think ultimately, again, like I've been thinking so much about him lately because the book's now coming out. I really think, you know, this is the book that both he and I would have wanted when we were kids. A way to sort of open up and talk about the thoughts and the feelings that we had that scared us. So that, and to build a different relationship with those things so, you know, we don't find ourselves in the position we are in now where you're 45, 42 years old and you're still holding on to those feelings.
Reading
a
the
place
book
to put them.
Reading the book makes you think you don't like the dentist too much. I get that. I'm still terrified of the dentist.
I do not like the dentist. The dentist has appeared in 2 of my children's books. Both times acknowledge as things that as someone I'm scared of.
Me too.
I just don't like metal on my teeth. That's why I don't go.
No,
That's not good.
I love certain children's
fine.
books because oftentimes what's in it can be applied to adults in our lives. And you say fear is often a chosen path, and that sometimes what frightens us most is our own imagination. You know, I want you to break that down because that doesn't just apply. It doesn't just apply to kids, though.
Yeah.
It applies to adults because we oftentimes get in our own way as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the thing that Leslie and I talked about a lot was he would make lists of all his fears, and then you would say them out loud. And his lists were often very funny. They were far more entertaining than mine. He'd be like paper clips and pocket knives, straight man. And then you would think, and then the next question would be like, okay, well, let's say these out loud. And then you would ask yourself, well, which one of these fears are in front of us right now? And usually the answer to that was none of them. And it's like, well, then why are we then carrying them around with us?
But kid fears are different, right? So like adult fears are like, I'm gonna miss an insurance payment, and then I'm gonna get in a car accident, and then I'm not gonna be able to afford it. But you've got like, that was mine last night, by the way. giant robot sharks and tarantulas and pirate ships and the dentist. So how do you decide what to put in and what to exclude when the universe of kid fears is infinite?
Yeah, so well, we thought about that. We wanted to put as many as we could into the book. But then we also wanted to make them, you know, we didn't want to just be straightforward with it. We wanted to make them visually articulate them in a way that would be visually appealing to kids and exciting and scary. And James Serafino, who illustrated this book, did a beautiful, beautiful job. So, you know, like one of the fears in the book is your best friend moving away or going away or losing a best friend. And you could just say that simply, or you could say, well, I'm scared of my best friend sailing away on a pirate ship made of toast. And then James would draw it, and it came out beautifully.
That's the fun of it. But look at you, Max. You're a successful actor. You guys are killing it on The Neighborhood. And now you are a 4-time, well, I'll put this in the best-selling author category. How does it process you being an author who recently spoke at the Library of Congress? Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful, unexpected journey. I never expected this part of my life to be a part of my life. But it has come into my life in a really wonderful way, and I love these books, and I love what we're saying with these books.
You have 2 children. Have they read the book? They're
Yes.
9-year-old?
Yes. I have a 9-year-old who was sort of a test sample for every draft we did of the book. And at some point, he was like, "I've heard the book enough. I'm kind of done."
Max, you understand TV terms.
That's
We're
an
about to
endorsement.
get cut off right now, but we
Yeah.
want to say thank you for joining us. Good Night Thoughts is available today. We appreciate you.
Thank
And-
you, guys.